Hey everyone, hope things are going well. It's hard to believe that summer is almost over and that signal for me is back to school. So today I want to share with you some bulbs that came in the mail. So I got these from Flowerbulbsrus.com. These are some fall blooming crocuses, also known as Colchicums. So I have some ones called the water lily, and then also some that are called the giant. If you're looking at getting bulbs, it's always best to get them early. A lot of garden centers are starting to carry the bulbs now, so start calling your garden centers if you're looking for a lot of your daffodils, your tulips, etc. Because I can only imagine that they're going to be flying off of the shelves. Anyways, we're going to unbox this and then we'll talk more about what I have here. Alright, so let's open up this box and see how these bulbs look. Alright, so that was the packing slip, but this is what our bulbs look like. So I did buy quite a few of the water lily. So I ended up getting 5 packets of these, and there's 5 in each one. So I have 25 of these bulbs. So I'm just going to take these out right now. So that way I can sort these out a little better. You can kind of see them in there, but I'll open these up in a little bit. There's this one. And then these ones are Colchicum, so these ones are called the giant. And these bulbs actually look way bigger than the other ones. So I have all of my bulbs down here in front of me. I'll just go like this so that way you can see them right there. So we'll open them up, take a look at what they look like before I plant them. So the first one is Colchicum double water lily. So here's actually a little tag that they provided. So it says over here that you'll be spacing them about 6 inches apart. But besides that, not a whole lot of information on this. It does flower mid fall. Let's see if I can get that to focus just a little better there. Whoop, right there. Okay, so with these autumn crocuses or colchicums, they're not actually crocuses. They're in the lily family actually. So these flower in the fall. They die back down. They have no leaves in the fall, but they do produce leaves in the spring. So the hard and challenging part of these plants is that the leaves come up in the spring and there's nothing very exciting. The leaves, can range anywhere from about 10 inches to 14 inches, which is quite long. So the leaves kind of remind me of allium leaves. So those will grow in the spring and they usually will die back around early summer. The plant goes dormant, and then in the fall it'll send up some beautiful flowers, and then it goes dormant again until spring. So quite an interesting life cycle for those bulbs. So I'm going to grab these 5 out so that way we can see what they look like. I actually need to figure out which way to plant these because it's growing quite interestingly. So here are my water lily colchicum bulbs. So quite the interesting structure on this. So you can see like the root is down there, but it almost looks like it's sending the flower stalk over there. Here's another one. You can see like the bottom root portion of that. So not the prettiest looking bulbs, that's for sure. And here are 2 more. Quite the pretty plant. The bulbs, don't look like much, but I'm sure they will look amazing. These will flower. If you don't plant these early enough, they will flower as is. So it is quite important once you get them to plant them in the ground. So I have 25 of these that will need to be planted. When they flower, I think they'll reach around, I think it's about 4 to 6 inches in height for the flower, and then the leaves will obviously be a lot taller, which means that it will be a little bit tricky to find a good spot for them to plant, because they'll be really tall in the spring, depending on where they are, and in the fall they're a lot shorter. So it'll be interesting as to how they will look in the flower bed. Our next one is the giant. Hopefully you can see that there. So the giant, again, not a whole lot of information on our tag, but the giant is a single flowering Colchicum bulb. It's a little bit taller, so I think it'll get up to around 10 inches, so a little bit taller than our water lily. So it almost does look like, a crocus flower. So again, same thing as our water lily Colchicum bulbs. They'll flower in the fall, go dormant, and grow leaves in the spring. So again, always interesting to figure out how to plant these. These bulbs look way bigger than the water lily ones. So if you just compare, so here's my water lily one, and here is Colchicum the giant. You can almost see there's a flower right there. So I do need to get these planted soon. Here's another one. This one looks like it's ready to do something. So we need to get this in the ground as soon as possible. So these bulbs are, quite big compared to, again, our water lily. So these ones are gonna take a little bit of digging to get a hole big enough to plant those in. Here is another one. So again, we have our roots at the bottom, and it looks like we have some nice flower stalks coming out of this. So, quite interesting in terms of like a bulb structure there. So again, there's 5, so I'll show you the other ones. This one looks more put together, but you can see there are some sprouts coming up, and our roots are down there. And this is our other one. So again, much larger in size. Anyways, I have my other packages of bulbs that I'll have to open and figure out where to plant. Anyways, just thought I would share these bulbs with you, because these bulbs are a little bit harder to find just because that shipping time and that time on the shelf is very short, because as you can see, I got these bulbs delivered, I think they were shipped out 3 days ago, and they're arriving now. And as you can see, they're about to flower. So it's hard for garden centers to obviously hold something like this, because, something like this you probably want to have sold in less than a week, compared to your daffodils and your tulips, which are probably still staying dormant. These, on the other hand, are starting to flower. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you see some Colchicum bulbs in the garden center, give them a try. They are quite interesting. I'll share with you some updates as they start to flower. Until next time.